when we do our yoga today, I am thinking about movements that also make us feel free. And so this mask, it's kind of like, looks so, it takes over my whole face, but it's very easy to breathe in with the insert and everything. So that's what I have. All righty. It's a little, I don't know why I'm chilly, but we'll warm up. Soon. Let's go ahead and begin. Hi, Julie.
Good morning.
Hands are to heart center. Inhale, reaching up, extend. And arms out to the sides, hands come down and touch down. And again, hands to heart center. We'll do that 3 times. Inhale. And exhale, arms out to the sides and hands coming down. Last one. Reaching up, imagine the arms are like wings, and especially as you're coming down, spread through the fingertips, reach, freedom of movement. And then clasping hands behind the back, clasp our hands behind the back, squeeze shoulder blades together, and look up, stretching your neck, and then chin down. And look past one shoulder, and then look past the other shoulder. Good. And then releasing, and we'll circle. So the other idea of freedom is, freedom of movement. So we'll also take a moment to look at the joints of the body. Right now, just moving your whole spine. Yeah, there we go, Julie. And then reversing the movement. Let's extend the legs. And as you extend the legs, you point and flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, and flex. And then we'll go wide. And as you go wide, we circle. So you point, you straighten the legs, and then you flex and you bend. Bill had asked how many are in class, how many are signed up, and I said, I don't know, I never looked to see who signed up, and then reverse. But Bill's 5 in here. Looks like 10 because you can see, they can see the mirror.
12 has trouble so much of the time. I don't even bother trying to sign up.
Oh, yeah.
Such a pain.
Yeah, the app is really faulty. There's a lot, it's very difficult for most people. So
Smart trouble to call.
yeah, and so I would say if you do change your mind, want to come, you just call the front desk. I mean, it might be the best thing. So using you've got your hand on your foot, and you're just gonna squeeze, and kind of move the bones around, because we're thinking about the joints of the body. Just kind of moving. Yep. Why is it, Julie, that if someone else massages your feet, it's so wonderful? And when you do your own, when you're like, it's not so, it's sort of like, okay, I'm moving my bones around. All right. No. And then take hold of the little toe and the big toe and spread. And then next toes over and spread. And take that middle toe and just pull on it. And then we'll do the other side. We have the other foot, and a lot of times I'll put the foot on a block, but I didn't do that today. So you're just pressing, releasing, and then moving your bones, like you're moving into your joints of your foot. I should know this, how many bones in the foot? A lot. And lots of bones in the ankles and hands, wrists. Okay, and then let's go ahead and take hold of big toe, little toe, and spread. It's kind of funny. And then next toes over and spread. And then that middle one, and just give it a little pull. I don't know why, but let's do that. All right, so then we'll come right onto our backs. And again, I'm thinking of the joints of the body. And as you're on your back, let's come up and down in bridge. So you're going to start out with your hands down by your feet, really, and then lift your pelvis, So there's a lot of your spinal bones are moving here. And then when your back comes down, your arms will come up in the air and up overhead. So when your back comes down, just do a pelvic tilt as well. And then come up and release the pelvic tilt. So you're really pressing your pelvis up in the air, hands are down on the floor, and then lower your back, pelvic tilt, and arms are up overhead. Do that maybe 3 more times. Inhale up and exhale down. And we're not there yet, but when you're on your 3rd round, go ahead and hold it. And so you'll clasp your hands on the 3rd round, tuck shoulders underneath you. And we can take the right leg up into the air, pointing the toes. So meanwhile, the left foot is working hard, the left leg, left glute working hard, and then you're going to take your right leg and bring it parallel to the other leg. So yeah, so it's gonna, your thighs are going to line up. There you go, Julie. That's a little hard. And then bring your right foot down, keep your pelvis up, left leg up in the air, pointing your toes. And then start to lower, keeping your thighs level. Good. You can point your toes, breathe in, exhale, and lower. Now the heels raise, lower your back, and then take hold of your feet, happy baby. So grab a hold of your feet, happy baby pose. Elbows are in the inside knees. Some like to rock slightly. So this, we start to, it's a stretch to the lower back, but also moving into your hip joints. Deep breath in and exhale. So also while we're here, we'll do, we're going to do another, this time it's a core strengthener. So your knees are bent, your legs are up in the air, and your legs are up in the air, knees bent, arms up in the air, and I want you to press your pelvis down into the mat. Press your lumbar down into the mat. And then try to keep your lumbar down as you extend right arm up overhead and left leg hovering above the floor. Left leg is straight. Oh, there you go. And so it's kind of like we do this from hands and knees in a sense. So come back to the original position, and it's left arm, right leg. Try to keep your back down. And back to center. Right arm, left leg, and back to center. Left arm, right leg. Try to keep your back. And back to center. Good work. All right, and then we will have the hands right onto the knees and circle. So that really gets a good movement in your hip joint, joints. And then next time your knees come together, reverse the circles. All right, and then we will, you might need a strap. I don't know. I mean, I can do this next one without a strap, not everyone can. So we can start it with a strap and then just see how you go with it. You just need, you could make a small loop or just double your strap. These are, the straps here at the studio are, gym are, they're metal. And they clink. So I tend to kind of want to make more of a loop so I don't have to hit myself with the metal. So I have the right leg up in the air, left leg is down. And what I'm going to do is come to half lotus. And I know usually you don't really need a strap in half lotus, but we're going to use one and then lift your head and bring your head up towards the strap or to your foot. lower your head and kick the leg out to the side, right leg to the right. And left arm, and so you're only holding a strap now with your right hand, and your left arm can extend out to a T, and then come up again. Come back to center and bring your head towards your foot and kick the leg out to the side. That's going to be your rhythm. And remember the breathing. Exhale when you come up. Inhale as you lower your head and kick the leg out to the side. So again, some of you can do this without a strap. Wherever you're at, let's do 3 more. And then next time you're done, let's just take the same leg, the straight leg across. You could bend the knee, coming across to a twist, or you could keep your leg straight. You can have your strap or hand and foot, and you come to a twist. Same side, we're working on the right leg, coming over to the left. Great, and come back to center, and we'll reverse this whole thing. Okay, so we might as well start. We could start with a strap, and then some will find that they don't need it later. So for most of us, right leg is straightened. To modify further, you could bend your right knee. So let's go ahead and take the left leg out to the side, stretch the inner thigh, and then come back to center, lift your head. Either you're holding the strap or you're bringing your foot closer into your head, and lower your head, extend, and don't forget to extend your right arm as well out to the side. So your arms are like a T position. So now begins the breathing rhythm. Exhale, center. Inhale, extend. Exhale, center. And inhale. And wherever you're at, we'll do 3 more of these. Okay, and then when you're done, you decide if you want your leg straight as you come across or knee bent. Strap or no strap. Give a twist. Extending your left arm, turning your head to the left. Want more intensity, flex your left ankle, especially if your leg is extended. Good. Great, and then we will release. Good. So the other way, we'll go ahead and come on up to sitting. Another way to work working the our joints of the body is through rock and roll. And I know that doesn't work for everybody. So so I'm going to modify first, and we'll see how we go with it. Okay, and some can do this, but they just need a little extra padding down. So let's go back, and this is the modification, but the modification has a lot of core work to it. So you're lifting, reaching up, and then you could use your hands, come up and try to hold yourself in half boat or full boat, okay? And then those who can go deeper, you're gonna go back. Maybe you'll catch yourself again in boat, or you'll go all the way over to plow, and then you'll catch yourself in half boat or full boat. And then let's do that twice more. So what I'm trying to do, I'm going all the way over. I'm trying to slow it down. Go with less with momentum, more with my strength, and catch. Breathe in, exhale. And the last one, going back, my hands are helping me a little bit. And then come out and catch and breathe. Good. And release. So we also have, I always also think of birds as kind of being, there's a theme of freedom. And then I think of birds, flight. So of course we have heron pose. So if you need a strap, you would be using a strap for heron, or you're able to hold your foot. You could always bend your knee too. Ideally, leg is straight. So take a moment. I notice I'm leaning back. I'm going to try to be a little more upright and breathe. The tendency is to sickle the foot. I don't know if I'm the only one who does that. So just kind of fixing that, adjusting. And then from here, we'll start to twist. So left hand holding right foot. Right hand can help you as you twist to the right, and maybe even extending your right arm. Good. There you go. Julie said, if you say so. Okay. And then come out, and you have wrist over wrist, maybe. Good. And then release. From here, your right knee is down, or your right knee is bent, foot is down. I'm going to go towards the left edge of the mat. And there's a twist. So you're turning, you're twisting towards your right bent knee. And it kind of depends on you. So you take your opposite hand across, left hand across right knee. And it might be that you could also take another kind of flight. Right hand beside right hip, left arm comes up. You could adjust your right knee position and lift. Yeah, it's like a takeoff. It looks like a modified side plank. But when you look up, you can arch more. And then release, come out, and we'll take flight the other way. So here we go. Holding your left foot. So if you find like you can't straighten, you might need to take a strap and breathe. Hamstrings. And then right hand holds left foot or a strap, and you twist to your left, and left arm comes up into the air, taking flight, and breathe. And then coming back, and it's wrist over wrist, looking upward, breathe in, exhale, and then bending your left knee. So you're going to shift more to the right. And at first it's a twist, both sitting bones are down, turning towards your bent knee. Left hand can push into the mat. And some of you can take off, left hand pushes down, if your shoulder's okay with that. Right arm up overhead, but also you can look skyward, ceilingward, breathing. and stretching. Good. And we'll come on out and release. So there's one more I thought of that I would like to do right now, and I'm going to show it, but it's there are lots of variations on it, you know, because this theme of freedom, and then I'm thinking flight, and I'm thinking of flying fish. Okay, so so one is that you might say, oh, hey, you know, I'm going to do regular old fish. I'll be showing these, okay, and you know, you could lie over a blanket, over a block, and maybe that is your fish pose, and that's plenty for you. Or, you know, the regular fish pose, you slip your hands underneath and you could go there, or I'll show you how to take flight. So you bend your elbows, tilt your head back, and then you bring your head down. And then you fly. That's the flying fish. Okay. You could also release your hands and fly. Yeah, so try that. I'm going to see in class and on yeah. So remember, you always have an easy way out if you're looking and going, no, I can't do that. And the thing is, when you do the flying fish, you have to really, your neck has to be, your foot, let's see, your neck has to be in a comfortable position. Your neck has to tolerate. Yes, that's good. And you'll notice when you do it, Willow, it's not as, it looks very beautiful, but it's not as comfortable, I think. It's really not that comfortable. It's like some poses aren't super cool. So if you could reach your arms up, Willow, you might feel that it's even, yeah, that's awesome, Meredith. It's actually less uncomfortable because it's like your hands are free. Good. Oh, I love it. And then Anne figured out a way to do flying fish with a block under her pelvis.
Yes.
She is brilliant. See, that's how variations are born. Thank you. So here's, in case you're not sure of it, you can watch what I'm doing. It's really neat. I've never done this in my life, and I love you for this, Anne. We now have Anne Asana. I love it. Okay, Anne flying fish asana, and then release. And let's come on out. That's really awesome. Yeah. Necessity, mother of invention. Okay.
And like pins all the way up my neck.
What's that?
I have pins all the way up my neck.
Yeah, yeah. That one's really good with a block in case you have like pins in your neck. You know, yeah. So, and some do. A lot of people do. Fuse. So here we are. We're going to be right onto the hands and knees. And from the hands and knees, we're going to go right arm, left leg extending. So it's really what you did on your back, but it's much easier from here. And then release and do the other side. Left arm, right leg, and back to center and extend. We're going to go back and forth and extend. So think about the breath. You inhale when you extend your arm, and then you exhale when you come back to center. Beautiful. Okay. And then from here, we'll go wide with the hands. We have downward facing dog. And go ahead and stretch on back. You might want to pedal. All right, and then bring your hands just a little closer in. Your right leg, because your right leg is going to come up in the air, and you're going to swing your right leg to the outside right hand. And we're going to be lizards. Okay. So right hand, right foot out, right outside hand. I don't know if I said that correctly. Right foot outside right hand. Okay, so sometimes people have to come onto their fists. Some are okay, hands down. I like to bring the knee down, and maybe you could come on your elbows. Maybe your elbows could come onto blocks. Okay, so there's many variety of lizards in this world, many species. And there is something called a flying lizard. I hope to never encounter one in my life. It sounds kind of scary. Okay, but anyway, so what you would do is you would take your right hand to the inside ankle. It's like this is the easiest one that is available to most. Your right hand goes to the back of the ankle and then around to the outside ankle. And it's like you imagine trying to get more and more of your right arm under your right knee. So it might be, let me see, might be just a little bit like, oh, got my arm there, it's so cool. And some of you might be able to go lower, okay? And I know I have all levels here, but you never know, you never know. Some of you can like tap your foot. Yeah.
I see what you do.
Yeah, you know where I'm going, and then some can extend. But that's all I can do. I can't extend it anymore. So my flying lizard is sort of a, I don't know, it's an kind of got an injured wing or something. Okay, and then release. And I'm going to have you come back to child's pose. Reach your heels, head down. Just take a moment to release. So what I would like you to do, I don't do that perfectly, but I approach it with, it's kind of fun. It's different. It's full of potential. maybe that's my goal for 2022, not really. But anyway, so that's what I'm thinking about is, can I approach this with a sense of adventure and a big like sense of like imagination. Okay, so have your hands a little closer in. We're going to go back to downward facing dog and press on back. We're going to take the left leg up in the air and then look at your hands and bring your left foot to the outside left hand. Yeah. And then you decide, do you want to be on your wrists, on your fists, on your hands, on your elbows, who knows? And that might be it. That might be your pose right there. Or who knows, maybe you're like, see, I kind of got up again to do this. I was on my elbows, I had to come up to bring my hand behind the ankle and around. That might be it. I'm going to see what ruler does there. And some of you can go even deeper. You're lower and you try to take your shoulder underneath. You never know. And then in which case, I'm going to start to walk. Maybe you could tap your left foot. That's an accomplishment. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, even if you can wiggle a toe, that counts. And then Julie, are you going to try it? And then you could walk your foot out and that leg doesn't want to come up. Not happening. Yeah, and sometimes you're trying to will the leg to move and it won't. What is that all about? Yeah, so if you got a tap, you're on your way. All right, come on out and come back. Bring your hands back by your heels, and we're out of that loop. Thanks. And then we have downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. You could pedal, bend one knee, press opposite heel down, back and forth. And then let's go ahead and walk forward. And there you are at the front end of your mat. Taking your hands could be, you could reach for your elbows or you could swing. Relaxing the neck. And then we'll go ahead and come on up. Good. And taking the arms up into the air, reaching up. Palms touch and hands are to heart center. So from here, we'll do a triangle and a half moon. So you might find that, maybe you need a wall for the second part. But so I would say, those of you in the room, maybe you're turning so you're going to face the mirror. And then we'll go wide. Good. Left foot could lead the way. Extending the arms. Good. And just taking a moment here to breathe, extend, and then shift your pelvis, come into triangle. Breathing in triangle, feeling the strength of this geometric form triangle. Going to come up and reach your right hand back, left arm up into the air. And then for your half moon, you could always use a block. You could be at a wall, bending your left knee, bringing your left hand down, and think about kind of that stacking of one hip over the other and top arm up into the air. And in a sense, I know it's weird, but to me, it feels like taking flight, but I know it's, it's a celestial sphere, really. So there's a sense of lightness. Maybe my imagination takes me to the idea of flight. Right hand down, back heel touches down. You're in a low lunge. Bring your back heel all the way down so you can come to warrior one, strong, and breathe. And then we're going to do a little flow through, what we call it's always slow. You're going to reach back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And then come forward to plank. And lower right onto the belly. Lower. Chaturanga Dandasana. And then once you lower, you could be on your elbows, or you could extend your arms. Tops of the feet pushing down. And breathe. And then lower. And we'll come back to child's pose. Stretch it out. Take a moment. And downward facing dog. And we can walk or spring forward. Sweep the arms out to the sides, all the way up. Palms touch. Reach back. And hands to heart center. We have a whole other side. So once again, those of you in the room, you could, if you wanted to face the mirror, then you would go to your right. The side mirror. And then, so your right foot leads the way, extending the arms. Take a deep breath in, shifting from the pelvis. Good. And reaching. Your left arm is up. Palm is facing, you're facing a mirror, you'll see your palm facing the space ahead of you, and breathe. And then we'll come up, and left hand is back, right arm reaches up high, stretching the right side of your torso. Good. And then starting to bend your right knee and using a block, the wall is fine, coming over into your half moon.
Good. It's all coming back to me. Yeah. Sometimes we'll take a little yoga break and it just comes back. Yeah. So let's lower the left foot. You're going to be, those of you in the room, you're going to be facing back in the room for warrior one. Back heel will anchor down. You'll come upright and take your arms up into the air. And breathe. And then we'll lower. Now, this time what we're going to do is we're going to go to plank position. And again, those of you in the room, you're facing your back is to me. So, and you're looking down, you're in side plank, breathing.
No, not side.
I mean, so we're going to side plank. I was skipping ahead. We're in plank, and then we're going to go to side plank. So go one direction, right or left. I'm going to go to a side plank. Good. And breathe. Sometimes on mine, I see what we're going to do, and it comes out prematurely. Yeah. Good. And then the other direction. Hand down, shift, and up. Stacking feet if you can. And back to center. Good. Lowering, lowering, lowering. Chaturanga Dandasana, lower right onto the belly. And what I'm going to have you do is your feet are pushing into the mat and your arms are reaching back. Like your arms are reaching back and you're lifting your upper body. You got it, Julie. She's like the first rower. Breathing in. Exhale. Can you get your ribs up off the mat? Huh? Take the arms out to a T without straining your neck. And then lower your head, one hand over the other. And you could rest your forehead on your hand. Breathe in. And exhale. One more. You're going to breathe into the diaphragmatic area. And exhale. Good. Come back to child's pose. Stretch back. And then downward facing dog. And from here, we're not going to stay too long, downward facing dog. And you're going to walk to the front of your mat. Roll up to standing. Sweep the arms out to the sides, palms touching. Good. And you can turn around. Those of you in the classroom. And hands are to heart center. Breathing. Inhale. And exhale. Okay. So there's, gosh, my mind, there's like so many winged creatures that take flight, right? So you think freedom, flight. And so let's go ahead and do our eagle. So the knees are bent to start with. So a lot of people try to go in eagle with legs straight. You need to bend the knees. And then, you take your right leg over the other. And if you did the right leg over the other, then your left arm on top of the other. This is actually really good for brain plasticity because you're crossing midline, you're going left, right, left, right, right, left, and your balance. Now, is it possible to keep the legs as they are, to unwind the arms, and to fly? You don't even have to flap your wings. You're going to just like ride a thermal. There you go. You're an eagle. And you're seeing this incredible landscape down below. You have no fear of heights. Yeah. And then hands to heart and unwind the legs. Good work. Second side, bend the knees. Left leg on top of the other. Right arm on top of the other. Pause. And then let's go ahead and fly and just like ride that thermal. Amazing. You could go really, just really move. You've all seen it. And now you are it. And then release and hands are right to heart center. Good work. Yeah. How do you like being a bird and taking flight? Okay. Well, there's another bird and it's called the pigeon. Okay. So you got to do the pigeon, right? And what I'm going to say is as we do pigeon, you know, not everybody does pigeon. So let's all start out one way. And then some will go on their backs and thread the needle and others will go into pigeon. So this is it. We start out right ankle over the other. Flex your right ankle. There's a nice way in which you shift from side to side. Is that nice, Diane? It feels really good. It's easy, kind of gets your confidence up. Let's go the pigeon related anxiety. And you're like, and when you're doing this, try to really get your legs down, like get the outside leg down if possible. All right, so this is when some are going to say, oh, I'm on my way to threading the needle. And others will say, oh, we come to pigeon, just from there, pigeon. And maybe you have a better way of coming into pigeon. Yeah, yep. And, you know, it's really nice. The sticky mat keeps your legs steady, like, you know, the leg isn't gonna slip, move on its own, so it's kind of staying put. And then those of you in pigeon, lowering your head and breathing. So some will stay as they are, or maybe you can lift. And you might, before I bend my back knee, sometimes I like to curl back toes under if you're in pigeon, and then lower the knee and bend. And there's quads. Woo. Yeah. Got it. Put your head back as if you're taking your head. Are you getting? Have you been drinking pickle juice? I did not. But I had a lot of, some people get Charlie horses in this, and Julie says pickle juice, or drink a quarter cup of pickle juice a day, and you won't have Charlie horse. That's from Julie Bacon.
Well, I just do it if I got a cramp.
As needed. Okay, as needed, not every day, as needed. All right, second side. So let's see. Let's come to sitting. And that's when you want to kind of stretch out your legs. Okay. All right. And then we'll go ahead and take left ankle over the other, flex the ankle. Good. Already that's a stretch. That's already a stretch. You can go close in. Look at that, Julie. Oh, yeah. And then let's go side, side. Try to get your thigh to touch down. And touching down. So at this point, now that some of you are coming onto your backs and threading the needle this way, and others are saying, okay, I'm ready. And I know like a lot of times we'll come into it from downward facing dog. So see how's that work for you? Stretching and lowered. Okay, and then those who've been pigeon, you can start to come up. One little trick is to curl, back toes under, lift the knee, and then bend the knee. And when you're there, then you point the foot. Your toes. Good. Terrific. Quad stretch. Yeah. All right. So from here, we're coming to plank again. We're going to come to plank. And there's something we'll do in plank, and so we're just gonna see how you do this. So you're in plank. You know, it might be that you do this with one knee down, or you have both legs straightened. And what you're gonna do is left knee, left elbow extend, right knee, right elbow extend. We do that again. Left, left, extend. Right, right, extend. One more, last one. Both sides. Woo. Yeah. Okay, that's for Bill. That's for Bill. All right, and then roll out your wrist, right? So you have to roll out your wrist after that. So the very last one we'll do, what we're going to do is Crescent Moon, and you'll see why, because Crescent Moon can go different places. So I think it's a Crescent Moon could go to Hanuman, which are the splits, and people are like, oh, I can't do those. Most people say that. I'll be the first to say that. With blocks is possible. So I've got 2 blocks handy. So right foot is forward, and you could say that you're like, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to stay in my Crescent Moon, and that's good. Stay in Crescent Moon. Crescent Moon. Reaching up, reaching back. But the other idea is that you could take blocks and you could really, I'm really building them up as long as they're stable, and you could sit on blocks, and then in that case you start to walk your foot forward. So that's a form of Hanumanasana. Yeah. Again, this is not stable, so I just want you to, kind of stay put. Okay. Why I chose this, especially today, Hanuman flies, he leaps, and his leap is huge. It's from Sri Lanka all the way up to the Himalayas to search for an antidote to cure his friend from this poison that he's ingested. So he's flying. It's a flying pose. The kid's freedom. He's powerful. Maybe you could go lower. Okay, just see what is possible. And arms come up. And we say that in Hanuman, he's a monkey, but he's also the son of Vayu, the god of wind, the deity of wind. That's why I thought of this today. Windstorm. All right, release, come on out. And I always say, just drag your mat back, drag your foot back. It's okay if your mat drags with you. And you could come to child's pose, you could come to downward facing dog, or you could come to dolphin as a counter pose. Last one, and then we could relax, deep relax. Okay, So here we go again, second side. So, you know, what you might say is, I'm not even gonna use the blocks, I'm coming into Crescent Moon. But usually when you go into Crescent Moon, you go low enough. You know, and it depends on your flexibility, but also your height. If you're really tall, you're gonna need, you know, you're not very flexible and tall, you may need lots of blocks. You might not reach the blocks. Good, so let's play with the blocks, see what is possible. And I'm really trying not to torque the pelvis and reach the arms up. The Hanuman who leaps across and practically flies across the Himalayas and succeeds in saving his friend. And he, of course, he's very confident in doing this leap because he is the son of the god wind. Woohoo, release, that's great. Okay, never thought I'd see so many flying monkeys in one place, so here we go. All righty, so we are, once again, counter pose. Will it be child's pose? Will it be downward facing dog? Will it be dolphin? So come into your pose and breathe. And then all of us are going to gradually make our way right onto our backs. And as you make your way onto your back, pause, just have your feet flat on the mat for a moment. Your knees are bent. And do a few pelvic tilts. So you reestablish this, it's symmetrical, right? So you press your back down, you engage your core, you engage your pelvic floor muscles, and then you let it go. And again, pelvic tilt, it's very powerful. These are simple movements. And release, if you wanted to do slightly differently, you could also take a block at your thighs. Pelvic tilt, squeeze into the block. And what I'm going to have you do is keep the pelvic tilt, keep the block in place. Just kind of, you know, you breathe normally as you hold the pelvic tilt and hold the squeeze. So you see it's possible to do this and not hold your breath. And then let go, take the block away, extend the legs. And I would suggest today, you know, you are so welcome to come into the traditional Savasana with your hands at your sides, palms facing up. But another way is the arms are, the feet are really wider than the mat, and the arms, it's like the Da Vinci man. The arms are out at a V, palms are facing up, and it's just like, you know what, I think of a star. You are a star, you're taking up a lot of space. You are free, your body is free. And the most important is your mind is free right now, free from whatever tends to plague the mind, right? Worries, anxiety, whatever those are. Right now, we don't need to enumerate them. We know that we have this beautiful sense of being free. Relax your entire body. As you lie in Shavasana, I would like you to, in your mind's eye, just work with the element of air. And of course, wind belongs into that element of air, whipped up air. And I just want you to, the wind we have today, the wind, and see leaves swirling and branches moving, and hear the sound of wind. And then I'm going to have you slowly deepen the breathing. Begin to move your hands and your feet. And begin to make your way to sitting.